Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another Saturday session. And today we are here with Microsoft Zero to Hero. I'm Mohsen, and I'm so excited to have a great session with Konstantino and about the Azure Logic app and Defender. Before to switch to the presentation, let me share my uh, slides and share some information with you. Yeah, actually, today we have a session about Azure Logic Apps and Defender for Endpoint. I think it's very interesting and very uh, nice topic for the security and Defender for Endpoint with the Azure Logic app that Constantino will share his experience and so on. We are Microsoft Zero Hero, and actually, like the umbrella, we have covered some topics. Azure Zero to Hero, Data Zero to Hero, and you can join us our social media and learning room. We had a lot of session every Saturday or other work day, and all of the old session hosted on the YouTube channel you can see. Uh, actually, let me share some information about Microsoft Learn Community. It's a collection of experience offering and many constant learning content about the Microsoft technologies, Azure technology, other thing. There are a lot of content like text, video, and labs also, and you can ask some question or you have a problem, you can ask from a technical expert, and you can join from aka.ms Microsoft Learn Community, as you know. And after AI Skill Challenge, we are in Microsoft Build months and in the in person and online and 21 and 23, 24. Actually, you can register, and there are a lot of topic interesting. And actually, you can join Microsoft Glue Challenge about the build and take his Microsoft certification voucher exam. Before to jump the session, I will share about the code of contact. Be aware of other, be friendly and passionate, be welcoming and respectful, be open all question and viewpoint, be understanding of difference, and the last one is be kind and considerate to others. And the time is to add the Constantino to a stage. Hello, Constantino.
Hi everyone, thank you Mohsen for having me here tonight. I'm Konstantinos. I'm calling from Athens, Greece. Yes, this is an interesting session because we are integrating two different platforms, Microsoft 365 Security and Azure. So it's going to be, I think, something interesting for all the audience and for us as well.
Thanks.
When you are good, I can start sharing.
Yeah, that's good. You can add your presentation in the stage and you can start.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I will share a window for now and then I can start sharing the screen. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
great.
a little bit about our session. Okay, I'm Konstantinos. I'm calling from Athens, Greece. These are my details. You can find me on LinkedIn. I have a GitHub repo where I put a lot of projects there. You can find it, clone, fork it, contribute, whatever you like. I'm open to contributions. Quite a community guy. And recently, I have been awarded with the Microsoft Most Valuable Professional Award, and this is an honor for me. I'm also an MCT, quite a lot of certifications on Microsoft, mostly on Azure, but 365 as well. I'm 20 years plus an IT professional, and Microsoft technologies are always my favorite. Now, what we're going to see today, we're going to deploy uh, ARM templates using DevOps organization and GitHub repositories. We have two ARM templates hosted in our repo in GitHub. We're going to see how we can deploy that with the pipeline. So we're going to have a storage account and our logic apps. Once we have these resources ready on Azure, we will show how we can build a workflow in logic apps that we can grab via a query of advanced heading interesting data, for example, antivirus um, antivirus detections, and bring them into a CSV file that can be stored into a storage account, and we can do whatever we want with that CSV file. Not everybody has the ability to build a complete SOC center, so this is a small solution for someone that wants to keep interesting data of their security features like advanced heading. And yeah, this is the presentation. I'm going to share now my whole screen so we can start uh, seeing how we're going to build that. Okay, sharing my main screen now. Okay, let's do this, and I will move this to a new window. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So let's go to our DevOps organization. What we're going to need is two things most important. The first thing, of course, is we're going to need a DevOps organization. We can have an organization with a free subscription. We don't have to pay nothing. The issue here is our pipelines. For my convenience, I have built a self-hosted agent. That means that I can run my pipelines with a compute that is already a virtual machine on Azure. We need a project as well. So we have here our project. For example, this one, Azure Deploy, or we can have the main project that hosts our interesting pipeline. And we have to connect our project with GitHub and our subscription as well. For those that are already into DevOps, you may have noticed that it's very easy now to connect your DevOps organization with your Azure subscription. Or all you're going to need is to create a new service connection. I have already built this, the demo hero. I'm going to show you very fast how you can do it. A new service connection from the project settings, service connections. You're going to use Azure Resource Manager, and all you have to do is workload identity federation automatic. This is already uh, all you need to do. And then you have to select the subscription, and it is done. So it's very fast. The same applies for GitHubs. The differentiation here is that you're going to need a token. You have to create a token from your GitHub account and paste it here into your new service connection. Why we need this? Because when we are ready to build our pipeline, we need visibility into our JSON templates. So I have here our pipeline ready for us to save a little bit of time, of course. This is our pipeline. Let's see what's in there. So we have two parts here. The first part is our artifacts, meaning here we declare we make aware into our pipeline the code that we're going to use, and this is not more than our templates. So with my service connection over GitHub, I have visibility into my GitHub account. Into my GitHub account, I have two um, templates. Let's find these templates. I think this one, yes. Let me show you the templates. So I think this one, let me see here. No, it's the pipe repo. I'm sorry. I have created a new repository for this session. And now it's a little bit slow today. I'm sorry about that. Even though I have a gigabit connection. Never mind. This is our repository. Let me show you quickly the two ARM templates that I'm using. You can find this template into the Azure Quick Start templates on GitHub from Microsoft that is going to make your life much easier. You don't have to build from scratch. You can find everything ready for you. You just need to make a few modifications to fit your case. Of course, you can use the templates that are already there if you're starting now, but for those that are a bit of advanced users, you can start getting these templates and make them work for your case. So the first one is this one. Here is our template. It's going to build the logic app. It's very straightforward. Nothing fancy here. A logic app a resource with a system assigned managed identity already built into the template. So we're going to have a logic app with a system assigned managed identity enabled. Here is our storage account. The same applies here. The highlight here is that going to export the storage account ID because here in our pipeline, let's see where we're building here, we need a job, okay? We need a job to start, uh, uh, deploying our tasks. So it is an agent job. It is running on an agent pool that is using my self-hosted agent. You can find very easily how you can build your own self-hosted agent for your DevOps builds. So here is the storage account. It is creating a new resource group. It is using my resource manager connection that I have already here. And it is this one. And the subscription is already here. It's this one. So it creates a new resource group. Let's give it a name, Demo Hero 24. And let's select the location. I think North Europe should be fine. You can see here that the template is able to browse through our GitHub. So I have visibility directly to my GitHub repos. Remember what we saw earlier. This is the important folders for us, the logic app and the storage account. So yeah, it's going to build this. I have added an override into our parameters. I need the local um, uh, I need a parameter like a storage account type. It's a standard LRS. So the only thing important here is that we are getting an output, the storage account ID. And this, when this storage account is built, we have an inline script that actually stores the storage account ID into a parameter. Next, it builds the logic app. It is another resource group here. I can use the same. So I can just add this here, demo hero 24. I think it's the same like the storage account. Let me be sure. Storage account, demo hero 24. Yes, demo hero 24. In North Europe, the same applies here. We can browse the GitHub through our DevOps configuration over our pipeline. I have added the name of the logic app here by hand and override into the template parameters. And following the CLI script that it makes the storage blob data contributor role, it assigns this role into the managed identity of the logic app. So we are saving a lot of time here with one click. We are going to build this pipeline and it will build our storage account, the logic app with a system assigned managed identity, and it will assign the storage blob data contributor role to this identity of our logic app. Why? Because our workflow writes into our storage account a CSV file. Let's do it. I think we have everything ready. So I'm going to just create a new release and build the pipeline. It's not going to take too much time to build. What we're going to see here is a new resource group, and I'm going to show you how you can see that we have successfully completed our build. Of course, we can have visibility over the logs in the pipeline. I'm sure I didn't forget anything. If I did, forgive me. It's a live demonstration. We can fix everything here. It's not a complicated presentation. I think it's very straightforward. We're going to see why logic apps in sometimes it is preferred over other resources. It's not the solution for everything. Remember that, because there are limitations and we have to be aware what resources we need for our specific needs. It's not one size fits all. Okay? For example, logic apps have their own limitations on execution times, and we have to be aware of that. But in cases where we need a schedule to run once a day and the data is not time consuming to ingest, it's very straightforward and it is easy to use and start working with resources on Azure. The integration is also very important because Logic Apps has an immense amount of connectors, not only with Azure resources, but with everything, for example, advanced handling. So in the meantime, while this is building, let's see what we're going to do. I have already onboarded a virtual machine into Defender for Endpoint. The way to onboard this, it's very easy. You can find the information in my website where I hold these details. I have also posted into the same blog post how you can test antivirus without exposing your PC into actual viruses. There is a website that it is used for defender tests, and you can create not false, mock alerts and mock viruses. They are not actual viruses, but they activate the antivirus engine, the malware engine. You can find everything into my blog post, and we can discuss at the end of the presentation where we can find that site. So, one virtual machine is onboarded, and we have some incidents into our machine. Let's see here the incidents. This is an incident that was an unwanted software. Okay, I downloaded an exe file, and the antivirus was activated. How we can find that? We can utilize the custom query language. Advanced handling and custom query language go side by side. You can write your own queries, but you can find already built queries here. Let's see our query. This is the Adivir win. This is what we're going to use into our logic app. Let's run it once and see how it will go. Let's bring it over. Let's say here 24-hour. I think it is enough to see the results. It was yesterday that I made this antivirus activations on our VM. Yeah, so we have two detections here. This data is going to be ingested from Logic Apps into our storage account. Okay, we're going to automate this output. So let's go over to our yeah. We have here a new resource group. You can see from the deployments here the setting. Of course, we can see here we have these resources, but from the deployments, you will see here the name of the deployment that we have added into our DevOps pipeline. So we have the first was the storage account, and the next was the logic apps. And where is this data? I don't know where this is failed. Maybe something in my CLI. We will find it. Assigning assignments details. Yeah, I think it's not. a big issue there. I'm not going to run again the pipeline. I think I know where is the problem. It's something in my last script. Let me find it quickly for you, and I will make what is needed to make this work. So the name of the deployment is found here in your task. When you are deploying an ARM template, you have to give a name here. The deployment name is what you are saying in the resource group. So our error is here. The resource group name is not the correct one. So I'm going to assign the managed identity directly by hand for this um, storage account. We need the storage blob data contributor so we can write on our blobs. Let's do it quickly. We need to add the role assignment. That was supposed to be made by the script to be configured, but I changed the resource group name so it didn't connect it. No problem with that. Let's add the storage blob data contributor role for our logic apps managed identity. Yeah, we have a little bit slowness here. I don't know why today. I need the storage blob data contributor in the managed identity of my logic app, which should be visible here. Yes, this is the one, and this is our managed identity. Why we need this? Because we are going to connect the logic app with the storage. Let's go over to our logic apps and start creating our workflow. We know now what we are going to build. This was the query that you saw from the advanced heading. Let's build the logic in our logic app. This is a consumption logic app. So uh, the resource, it's quite upgraded from Microsoft, and I have seen that it is working a little bit better, and we can right now we can have easier access to the code. I could easily, export the code, make some changes here and paste the code, but I want for you to be able to see how this works and how we are initializing data and how these solutions offer us visibility into a greater aspect of how Logic Apps works. Okay, the trigger, it's something that it's up to you. You can add a schedule, you can add anything that you prefer. Sliding window, let's add an interval 3 times a week. Should be enough. We're going to run it by hand uh, either way. So the next step, I have to look up also into my site because I don't remember everything from the heart, as we say. The next step, of course, is the advanced hardening connector. Let's find it. And yeah, it is named as Defender ATP. The name, of course, has changed, but it is um, the same connector. Okay, I'm going to sign in with another user, so it will be able to connect over to 365. Yeah, the problem area is here. Okay, we changed the resource group name so it can find these resources. That's why we had an error earlier. No problem at all. We made the correction and we are able to go and build our workflow. This is our logic app. So what I was going to say earlier is that when you are working with logic apps and you are working with the consumption tier, be very careful when you are start when you start to make tests. It can easily take out your credits if you are using credits or if you are paying for your subscription. So be very, very careful with that. If you think that you are not quite sure of what you are going to build and how much time you're going to need to test it, maybe you should take on and manage the tier so you have better control over your costs. And why that there? I don't know why that there. Okay. Okay, we have an error now. Let's see how we can fix that. Yeah, in the service principal of 365 now. Or is this assigned managed identity? Why it doesn't connect with that? Unknown error. Yeah, let me sign out and sign in once and see why we have that. We wouldn't supposed to have this error. Okay. Let's hope that we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. I don't know if it is a subscription problem or another problem there. I have another subscription that we can try. Let's see. Okay, we need a schedule here. Let's make these configurations in case this is the problem. I don't think so, but yeah. Okay. Advanced handling. This is the connector that we need, and we need it to work. It won't work. So let me find a way to make this with a service principal. Yeah. Okay. I need a service principal into our enter ID. So let me that I need to add the API. I need to add the API permissions there to the applications that I'm going to create. We need to create an application registration, and this is the case. But with O authentication, we were supposed to log in directly with our user. I don't know why Logic Apps now it is failing to do it, and this is an issue. But let's try. Let's try with an application registration. Let's name it like this. Yeah. I don't need the URL or anything else. I need a secret. Give it a secret there. 365. This is a secret. I need to paste it somewhere. Leave it there. I need also the application ID, SP365, and the tenant ID. It's already visible here. But before I create a new one, I have to go to the API permissions, add the permission, and hopefully I can get it from here with the graph. I think I'm going to have it from here. I think everything is working from the graph API. Handling, read all. And admin consent. Let's try it once. Subscription registration. Web. What? All right. Should I use the other subscription to make it faster? I don't know now. Okay, please register the web provider for me. Sorry guys for that. Let's see. All right, we have made the connection, luckily for us. So I'm going to grab directly the query and add it here because it needs it. Okay, now we have the query. Now there is a specific path we have to follow. Okay, now the logic app is able to get the data from the query. Okay, let's say it is storing it in memory. We don't need more details for that. But how we can present this data into a CSV file from logic apps? We need to initialize an array. So the first thing we need to do from logic apps, and this is the magic that logic app offers, it's that we need to initialize an array variable. So let's see more here. And why an array? Because this is an array. The data that were presented when the query brings us the results, it is an array. So let's do it. We need to initialize our array. We're going to name it array ATP. It is an array. And what's the data? Now, this is the results from the previous step. Good. Okay, we have initialized an array with the data of the logic app of this logic app step from the advanced handling query. Let's add an action. The next action is to create a CSV table. Very straightforward. We need a CSV. We need a CSV table. This is the step. Okay, that operation is um, the action, and we need to create a CSV table. Where are you going to get the data from? From the array that I have initialized. Okay, how are you going to build this thing? I need to build it with custom data. I don't need everything. See here how many columns we have. Many columns. We don't need everything here. We don't need every column. So I'm going to use I'm going to use the device name, and this is how we can write our data. The header is going to be device, and the value is going to be a function. This function, this is the correct syntax. Okay, if you research logic apps, you will easily find how we write these functions into logic apps. Okay, let's add some more data. The action type, what happened? Same here. The syntax is similar. We need a function with the action type. That's simple. And let's add one more. Which file name was the problem? The same syntax as well. I'm copying directly from my site because we spend more time creating the service principal, and we lost these 10 minutes. So this is how we're building our CSV table. We don't need everything. We need to select specific columns, as this is how we do it. We add the headers, so this is it's going to be the headers of our CSV, and this is the data with the functions that you saw. Great, we have our CSV now. Let's move on. We need to store it. So let's say we need to store it, okay? We need to create a new blob, but I don't need to create a new blob each time that I'm running this. For example, I'm running it every night at 11 o'clock. I'm collecting if there are any antivirus data. So we're going to utilize a feature of Logic Apps. And for you that you have already worked with that, I think that you may have already see what we're going to do. I'm going to update a blob. And I need to create a directory here, a container to say it correctly. This is the storage account. Let me create the container. We could have created this um, container directly from the DevOps pipeline, but as I told you earlier, I wanted you to see what we are building here. Handling data, it's the container, create, and I think let's create. No, it's fine. Handling data. So we're going to connect to our storage account with already our Logic Apps balanced identity. It's there, so we don't have to add so much details. The storage account name or the blob endpoint is needed here. I have seen that there are cases that we just need the storage account name, but if it uh, complains for something, you can add the complete endpoint. So this is the blob that we're going to update. Hunting data, uh, atp.csv. And the content, it will be the step from our create CSV table. Content type is going to be application octet stream because we have a CSV here. Octet stream. Let me validate this path. Yeah, this is the correct syntax. So I'm updating a blob. But how I'm going to update something that is not there? Now we're going to use something that Logic Apps offer. We can add a new step, create the blob, that it will run only if the previous one fails. So the first time we're going to run this Logic App, it will fail this step, but we have the ability to say, hey, if the previous step fails, run this step, and only if the previous step fails. So let's see it. Run after. Run after the update blob has failed. So we have an easy way here using logic apps to create the logic. That's why it's called logic apps, to create the logic to build the blob if it is not there the first time, or if someone goes up and delete it. Maybe once every month we delete this blob and let it create a new one. So create the blob. The storage account name is here. The folder path is here, and the blob name is the atp.csv. I think that's the correct one. And of course, the content is the output of this step, create.csv table. Don't forget the content type. It makes things easier for our content at octet stream. I don't think it's mandatory, but just in case, let's add it. A quick overview. We are building a logic app. We can select when it's going to run. We have it 3 times a day. Usually this kind of data is needed once a day, or if someone wants to audit or get an overview of how our antivirus is doing, what's the current state, and we don't have the ability to run a complete security operations center. This is a very economical way, cheap way to have something presented without having direct access to 365 as an Azure administrator within a company. Not everyone has access everywhere, and it is also an automated way to do this. Of course, you can do many things because the advanced hunting custom query language can do really, really great things. And maybe sometime we can talk about it. The steps is, okay, the recurrence, the schedule, the advanced hunting query, this is the one. And we can have it, of course, here with the timestamp, for example, the last 7 days or the last 30 days to collect everything. We are building an array that is it contains only the interesting data. For example, the device name, what happened, and what file was affected. We could have added more columns there. We are updating a blob because this is a way Logic Apps can offer us a simple way to update when the blob is already created or to create in case the blob is not there. So this step will run only if this one fails. And the folder path is hunting data. I don't think I have made a syntax error. I believe it will run. Let's run it once. We have to save, of course. Logic App will fail to save if there is an error in your workflow. So don't worry about that. Go back and find out why this happened. I think it's running already. I think, I'm not sure. Or it is saved here. Yeah, it is saved. Let's go to overview. Run history. Yeah, I think it failed the first time. Let's see where is the problem. If there is a problem. Yeah, this is the problem. We're not able to access the advanced handling with the API permissions are not enough. Thread handling, read all. What else can we add here? Let me find out. Defender, no defender. There is not in the application permissions. Here, defender. ITP. Here. Thread handling, we have added it. We have already run handling queries. We have already added it there. If someone has any idea of what we can add here, let's see if we need. No, it's the correct API. It's a graph API. Security, I don't think so. Yeah, let's see security actions, read all, events, read all, incident, read all, defender. It doesn't have defender. Advanced handling, we have already added it. Let's add these permissions and try to run again. I'm going to grant admin consent. Run handling queries. It's there. Let's submit. Yeah, we have everything correct here. The issue is with the connection of the logic app with the service principal with 365 advanced handling. I have added the API permissions, thread handling, read all. I don't know if I have to add something else. Yeah, I failed. API required advanced query. Okay, maybe we are lucky here. Advanced query. Let's find it. And where is that API? Let's see. Let's see, where is that API? I don't think it's into Intune. Application roles, advanced query, read all. No, it's not that. Advanced query read all. Let's find out where is that. I don't think it's there. No. Maybe here. I'm looking into where we could find this. Yeah, it's the security graph API. I'm not seeing anywhere. The security graph API, I have to do it by hand. Let's see here. Security actions. I don't think it's there. Okay, let's see if we are lucky enough. Okay, the service principal has these permissions. It doesn't have exactly the one that we need. Friend handling read all. Let's see. Yeah, we have security events. We have everything there. Security events, security indicators, maybe. Let's see. I don't think it's that. Activity. Threat indicators. Yeah, let's add this. Red handing, read intelligence, submission, and the policy. We have everything there. I think that's more than enough. And yes, I don't know if it needs more time to do it. And we have 2 minutes. I'm sorry, guys, about this. I think we have understood, nevertheless, the logic behind it. It would be nice if we could have some results here. But yeah, Azure failed us. We couldn't authenticate with our user. We have to build the service principal, and I was not ready for that. We created the service principal and we have added the permissions that we supposedly needed, but it is failing here with forbidden advanced query read all. Let's give it a final shot. Yeah, it is. I can change, select something from here. So yeah, no and no. It should be here, but it's not. We should have here the advanced query read all. It's not here. So, okay, guys, I don't want to take more of your time. I think you know what we were supposed to come at. We would have here a CSV file with all the interesting um, data. Unfortunately, again, our Logic app failed to authenticate into our 365 service. It should have been easier to create the service principal here. And even if the user failed, I don't know why the user failed to connect. And should be the connector, the API connection. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, the designer is here. We have done everything correct. We don't have the ability to add this over our server's principal. I'm going to show you one last time our logic and the initial steps. Okay, we have here our DevOps pipeline, creating two resources using a GitHub connection. ARM templates are stored into our GitHub. We're running two scripts. The first script stores the storage account ID, and the secondary script assigns the managed identity, uh, the role of the storage blob data contributor to the logic apps. Finally, the logic app logic is here, where we have a recurrence, the advanced handling query. It grabs the data, it constructs our table. We can see here the table. If I go to the step here, you can see that it has created, no, it doesn't have created the table because it wasn't able to get the data from the advanced query. It should have created the table, and yeah, we would have our data into a CSV table. Thank you for being here today, guys. I'm sorry again for this outcome. This is the issue with the live workshops. You know that. Uh, yeah, that's from me. Thank you.
Thanks, Konstantinos, for great presentation. I know that there are some update, but we receive your concept or flow of the logic. That's very that was very great. Thank you again. And if all
Thank you.
participants or our guys have a question, can you can ask in the chat, and I will share with the concept. And actually, some guys will be here for late. The record of the session will upload it in the YouTube channel, and they can watch again. Thanks again. I think let me check the comment. Yeah,
I just added the link where you can find the step-by-step instructions. If
yeah,
there are
thanks.
any updates, I will post into our LinkedIn and in the Teams. I think we have the ability to add some comments there on our
Mhm.
sessions. So
Yeah,
if I find a solution, I will also post it. I hope it is a temporary thing with a user issue. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you very much. Uh, Thank you, guys. See you to another session. Thank you. Thanks, Constant.